Hey guys, Ron here. One thing I see a lot from the support in the Facebook community on tag tribes is people, Celsi, good to see you on there. Chow, good to see you on there. A lot of people are afraid to do their first periscope. They're afraid to do it. And, you know, it's just like speaking in front of an audience. I suppose it can be pretty nerve-wracking and stuff. And I personally think doing a periscope is nowhere near the same as getting up in front of a bunch of people. But, I want to thank you guys for being on here and stuff. Hello, Tag Tribes. Good to see Tag Tribes in the house. So, I want to give you guys some pointers on how to lessen the anxiety or the pressure or the stress that you may be feeling to do your first periscope or your first 5 or 10 or something like that. And so basically, here's what it is. You can just do a headline based on something you know a lot about, so it's easy for you to talk. Another thing you can do is do it in a private spot where nobody else can see you doing it. Maybe do it at your house or something so you have some support. Another thing you can do is do it with a friend there with you to support you. That way they can do some of the talking, you can do some of the talking. Another idea is, I've done well over 500 scopes now, and I mean, I've really only had like 2 kind of weird comments and maybe like 1 mean one ever on like 500 of them. So people just they're usually neutral or positive. And one thing that might throw people off a little bit too is that there's not a lot of comments, so they feel like they're just talking to a wall sometimes. Thanks guys for coming in. Hi David. Oh David. That's just the nature of it. You gotta understand too that when you post to Facebook and hundreds of people see your post, most people don't comment. People are kind of just in the observing world nowadays. So you have to realize there's a thing you can go on Wikipedia and search or Google at 1% culture. There's this idea that 1% of people are actually creating all the content on the internet right now. And the rest of the people, 90% or 99% are just lurkers, they call them. It's called the 1% culture theory or something like that. So you have to realize that you're pretty confident to be the one that's actually putting out content on Periscope. You're already ahead of a lot of people. So when other people don't comment, just realize there's all kinds of reasons for that. You're on the web and you can't give hearts or type. You're watching it from the web. That would be a reason they can't comment. I personally, as I'm listening to people and then I think about something and I go to type it, that takes time to type it. It's really tough on some phones. And then there's a 5 to 12 second delay on the comments sometimes. So sometimes it's a 20 to 25 second delay from the time somebody talks about something until they get the comment. That's another thing to keep track of. Another thing I would highly recommend is you can scope like I am right here, where you're just scoping what you're seeing. It's a little different than Steve, thanks. Yeah, it's true. Thanks for joining, NRS. You can just scope what you're seeing, so it's just a little bit less to think about, maybe. And you can ask other people to invite users. You can give people 5 to 10 minutes heads up first. You can have them invite friends if that makes you feel better. I think it's personally easier for most people to do it when there's only 0 or 1 people on, And another thing too is it's the nature of Periscope and the novelty for people to jump in and jump out all the time. All the time. Their connections are bad, or they found other stuff, or they're hopping headlines or Periscope hopping or whatever. You can't take that personally. I've seen people with 6, 7, 10 people live in the bottom right number, and then at the end they have 500 to 1,000 live. So you just never know. So you're just doing it just to practice. The other thing I've noticed too is you can read a lot of books, listen to a lot of audios, go to a lot of seminars, hundreds of them, but like knowing it and being able to convey it takes a lot of practice. You just keep getting better and better and better at it. So those are a lot of little different tips that you can do. You can always do a 5-second broadcast if that makes you feel more comfortable. I would suggest doing it on a topic that you are passionate about, that you enjoy. Also, I would recommend that you watch a lot of periscopes too, because what I mean by that is I've watched some of the biggest celebrities that are all people that always wear suits. They're always in front of a camera. They're on poor connection. Sorry about that. I'm walking, so it's really tough to even have a connection. So if you look at a lot of these people online, you know, Gary Cardone's one and some of these other people, you see them in regular nice clothes, and you just see them what I call the raw and just them being themselves. It's really cool to watch because people are just being themselves. So when you realize that all these people that seem unapproachable just are themselves, and they talk to you and they comment and everything else, they talk to you on your comments. Beth, good to see you, Bethany. And everybody's just more approachable. So then you realize that Periscope is different than getting on stage. It's different than all that pressure. There's just this, like, we're just being ourselves, and we're just letting people get to know who we are. So let your guard down, try it out, you know, scope what's around you, scope something you're passionate about, do it for 10 seconds, do it with a friend around, do it even just if it's just not even that long, it doesn't matter. Even if you want to just put a headline that says, hey, I'm just going out for 15 seconds to test it, that's fine too. Know where the button is at the very top so that you can end the broadcast right away. I've had times where that button doesn't work, and I'm like, oh crap, I want to shut it off, and it doesn't work. So I just pointed it down at the ground or whatever, and then I shut it off. So those are kind of my tips for now if you're just getting on. Also check for the tagtribes team, hashtag tagtribes in Facebook. Join the Facebook group, get the support from everybody in there. Everybody will be able to help you with lots of ideas, and everybody's here to support you to build a live audience with more followers and enjoy the experience and find your passion and learn to monetize it.